welcome back for the very first official week of 7 reasons you struggle to eat healthy and what to do instead. Last week was our actual first week where I introduced myself and I gave you a little bit of homework to do. So if you haven't watched that video yet, if you got distracted in some way, a little too busy, whatnot, then I do encourage you to go back and watch that video. It's less than 15 minutes long. That was the longest of all of the videos. All these other videos will be 5 to 10 minutes is all. So I do encourage you to watch that video if you haven't and complete the homework. If you've already completed the homework and you're here again for the second time, welcome. And I hope that your homework went well. I hope you had a little fun with it, getting all that anger and frustration out, and you're ready to now move forward and into a perspective of possibility and change, because we all know that we have those negative monsters, those negative Nancys that chomp at the bit daily, almost minute by minute sometimes it seems, and we all know that those are there. And what this class is designed to do is to help you make a shift so that you can start to get out from under that negativity and start to see that you do have some power here and you are able to create situations and an environment for your life and for yourself day to day that will actually promote your health and that will lead you into eventually wanting to eat healthy food, because I'm assuming that's what you want to be able to do, seeing as how you're here and you're taking this class. So this class does, another important point, assume that you want to eat healthy more often. I am going to go ahead and assume just that one little thing, like everybody is here because we want to eat healthy more often, but more than that we want to eat healthy because we want to, not because we're forcing ourselves to, not because we're following some sort of very strict regimen, but really because that's who we are. We want to be those people that naturally choose healthy food. And so it's not so much of a struggle anymore, and it comes naturally. Okay, so we're all starting from that place. We have a vision of being that person who likes to eat healthy food and that person that does not struggle with eating healthy food. I hope that's a fair assumption for you. And if not, or if you want to go a little bit more in depth, I invite you to revisit that journal and define your vision. It can be different from what I just said, or it can be more in depth and you want to get some things down on paper, but create a vision. Visions are different than goals. We're not creating a specific weight loss goal. We're not going to rope ourselves into a specific time frame at all. A vision is something that you really hold over as an umbrella everything that you do and believe, and all of your behaviors and everything, the entire environment and atmosphere of your life is under your vision. So that's very different from a goal. And if you have any more questions about that, please reach out and ask. So this is going to be our first tip of the next 7. One reason that you are not eating healthy or you're struggling to eat healthy is because you're living in a state of perpetual stress and perceived urgency. Now, I know that life is stressful, you guys. I get it. I have 3, thank God I'm blessed with healthy children. I have 3 little ones and 2 big ones, and so I am constantly like 5 kids all over the place and a husband and all this stuff. We all have stuff and we all have obligations, and so life is busy, even though we have all of the modern conveniences. I'm right there with you. I'm not suggesting that you just throw all of those out the window, okay? That's unrealistic. So what can we do to get out of this state of stress, and why would we want to anyways? What does this have to do with eating healthy? I'm going to go into a little bit of detail here about hormones. Don't get too caught up on it, but I want you to understand that this is based in science, and this is actually what your body does. This isn't some imagined thing in the cloud. Okay, so basically when you perceive urgency or you're stressed because you have a really long to-do list, or because maybe your kiddo is sick. I mean, it could be a legitimate oh my goodness, a legitimate stress. But we tend to take a stress and worry it, right? And we elongate it, and it's something that's always in the background. So it could be that your child is sick, which is definitely a stressor. Or it could be emails that you need to respond to, or a phone call you need to make, or a fight you had with your spouse, or the fact that you ate poorly the night before and maybe you're hungover because you stayed up too late drinking. I mean, it could be a myriad of things that you're stressing about, right? You might be stressing about being stressed. It's just really this ongoing pressure that we put on ourselves daily to get it all done. And it's a habit, all right? And we've lived with it for a long time. So first of all, forgive yourself for it. Easier said than done, takes practice, all of this does. But you know what? You are a product of the environment in which you live, and it has become a habit to be stressed. We almost feel like we might be thriving off of this stress. But let me explain to you what your body does at a hormonal level. When you feel stress, maybe because you're drinking caffeine or soda pop or energy drinks, or maybe because there is literally a tiger chasing you through the wilderness, your body is going to, your adrenals are going to release adrenaline. And when you have adrenaline pumping through your system, your blood gets diverted away from your digestive system, so whatever you're eating isn't getting absorbed. That's a big problem, because you need to absorb nutrients in order for them to work for you. And if you're not digesting things properly, we all know that microbiome, that powerhouse for all communication throughout your entire body, is lacking in nutrition. And so that's the first thing that happens when adrenaline starts coursing through your body. It also your body also releases cortisol. Cortisol is like the classic stress hormone, right? And when cortisol is released into your bloodstream, it also releases insulin. And so I'm trying to do this like in a really nutshell type of explanation, so I'm sorry that I'm struggling a little bit. And insulin is the fat storage hormone. So cortisol like slows everything down, digestively speaking, metabolically speaking, and insulin stores fat. So when you're stressing out, your body is basically thinking, oh my gosh, life-threatening situation 24/7. We are going to hold on to absolutely every kind of food that we can, because what if there's like a famine going on, right? And it's going to store everything that you eat, healthy or not, and it's really going to take a toll on all of your body systems. Okay, if this is constantly happening, you're in a constant state of inflammation and a myriad of other detrimental things that are happening to your body, and I can't get into all of them right now. Also, though, one other thing, because most of you, I think, if not all of you, are women, and men too have progesterone, but progesterone is actually a hormone that promotes relaxation, that promotes anti-inflammatory action. And when we're stressed, we actually suppress progesterone, and there's reasons for that. But all you need to know is we're not secreting hormones that promote relaxation anymore either. So everything is working against us. Okay, I promised you I would cut it off at 10 minutes, and I have a minute left. So let me tell you here what we're going to do this week, homework-wise. We are going to practice getting ourselves out of that automatic stress response. This has nothing to do with food yet, but what I want you to do is start treating your minutes like moments. Okay, focus on moments, not minutes. So when you're faced with something, I want you to take a deep belly breath. Okay, make sure you can feel your diaphragm, which is right here at the base of your chest, in between the base of your lungs and your sternum. I want you to expand it by expanding your belly when you breathe in. You can breathe in through your nose or your mouth. Okay, I want you to hold that breath, and I want you to release that breath, and I want you to do that 3 or 5 times throughout the day. When you wake up in the morning, when you're waiting for water to boil on the stove, when you are leaving the kids' nursery, after you put them down for naps, before you start working at the computer, or before you start making dinner, before you go to bed at night, as many little windows as you can, 30 seconds or so, where you can take some really deep, slow breaths so you can get your sympathetic nervous system, which is that automatic response, shifted over to the parasympathetic, which is what you actually have control over. Start slowing down, start teaching your body that you are not in fight or flight and that you are safe. That's what's so important, is that you have to make sure that your body knows that you're safe so that it starts reacting, and all of its communication then is based off of this signal that you're giving it, that it is safe and it is okay to go about life in a normal manner. Okay, now I've gone a little bit over. I'm going to cut it off for today, and I will see you next week when we talk about number 2, the number 2 technique for what to do instead when you're struggling with eating healthy on a regular basis. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can comment below, or you can email me at mybodycanbreathe, don't forget the E on the end, at gmail.com. All right, feel free to use those journals and write out how you have responded to this tip for this week. All right, thank you so much for watching. Sorry I went a little over. Have a lovely week, my friend. Bye-bye.